Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, glad to have you here. Today we have a Wood Elves versus Empire matchup. And this is going to be slightly different than the last one. I am actually playing the Wood Elves this time. And you can see I do have kind of this front line of deep wood scouts here. I have one on each side trying to kind of spread them out. Depending on where my enemy places his troops, I want to have some early fire on. And you can see they are already opening fire, and that's why we're on pause, because this gets going really fast, so that's super cool. I love the Swift Shiver, or not, they're not, I just love the Deepwood Scout units. They're super cool. But yeah, you can see I kind of have contingents here. On this side, I do have a Deepwood Scout, a Dryad, a Wild Rider, and an Eternal Guard without shields. I have the same thing on that side. Again, another Wild Rider, another Deepwood Scout, another Dryad, another Eternal Guard with no shields. In the middle, I do have one Deepwood Scout. And then holding up the middle, I do have two Dryads with a Branch Wraith. And he does have Earthblood, so I'll be dropping that as soon as possible. And you can see his Call of the Woods here, plus 8 melee attack. Oh man. And that range is not very big. So it actually can fit perfectly two Dryad units. So I'm going to be trying to do that to make these guys just even more effective than they are. Because their melee attack is pretty low. But they do have decent weapon strength. In the back here, you can see I do have two Eternal Guard with shields. I have one Glade Guard with Starfire shafts, and then I have one Azrai Spear unit. Definitely love these guys with the fast movement. Are great against Cav. Really, really devastating. And then over here I do have a Glady on her horse over here, and I'm, probably squishiest part of my army right here. So we'll be seeing how I use her. Now we'll go on to my opponent's build. Definitely a kind of like typical build you see against Wood Elves, but a lot more crossbows than you usually see. There's also a steam tank, and no Lore of Life, which was really strange. But he brought the Bright Wizard instead. You can see as a front line of swordsmen, one of which is Sigmar's Sons, a huge front line of crossbowmen, going to be very tough to deal with, one steam tank to keep the pressure on, and then two spearmen on each flank, the Kindle Flame, the Bright Wizard, and then he also has the General of the Empire over here. So definitely some micro mistakes here. There's a lot going on, but I'm opening pressure, and I'm going to try and come in from all these sides, try and kite, but I don't do a very good job of it. So you can see here, opening fire. I don't think they can reach me just yet, but they are going to advance. And I'm going to pull these guys kind of sideways. You can see that steam tank opening fire, but definitely a mistake here. I need to pull these guys back. Look at them taking all that damage. Ugh, so sad. But over here you can see the same thing. I'm letting these guys get shot, and these guys are pretty far away. So this is not opening up decently, not too well for me. You can see these Deepwood Scouts are running away, and I am pushing in with all of my units already, because I realized he definitely had the advantage here, ranged, and I had messed up my early micro, so it was best to just kind of commit. So here you can see Dryads coming in, dropping an Earthblood on this unit, because I saw I was going to get shot by two of his. Opening fire as well over on these spearmen. Probably not the best choice, but I should be moving them up soon, and you can see my rear lines are moving in. Dryads over here are getting crushed by a steam tank, but I am getting some nice early shots in. Dryads are going to come in, tear apart these spearmen, and they should do pretty well against the swordsmen if I just support them well enough. Here my Glade Lord is going to sneak in, hold these guys down as I cast I think another Earthblood here on the, or Flaming Sword of Ruin there. So that's going to make them very effective against my Dryads. But you can see my Glade Lord does get in here. My Wild Riders are going to get in here too. Charge those guys. And you can see here, here's a critical moment. He pops some of these Knights of the Blazing Sun stacked with these Reiksguard here. And you can see them just like coming after my Deepwood Scouts. But he didn't notice that I had all this stuff here. So I have spears coming in the side, spears coming in, and Wild Riders. So he is going to get a nice charge here. Hit my Deepwood Scouts in the back, so definitely not the best. But my kind of box is closing here. My Wild Riders are going to get a nice rear charge. And you can see my front, just my poor Dryads by that Flaming Sword of Ruin got routed. Wild Riders in here did clean up the steam tank, or clean up these swordsmen. They need to get out of there before those spearmen get in, and you can see these Eternal Guard are attacking this guy, and my Deepwood Scouts are opening fire, just trying to create those layers, make this kind of a complicated engagement. You can see these Dryads are just like cutting through these spearmen though, which is good. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. So here you can see my Wild Riders in the back, and he's going to run away, but my War Dancers with Azrai Spears are so quick, they're actually going to catch some of his dudes here, which is very good for me. And the Wild Rider pressure in the back lines. Right here, his general tried to come in on my general, so I netted him because they're very squishy here. You can see my Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts, probably not the best that I'm shooting them through the trees, but they are targeting that heavily armored steam tank. And this is one of my few sources of like ranged armor piercing damage. So, as my Deepwood Scouts don't have armor piercing, so that's why I'm targeting that on the steam tank. And you can see me threading the needle here with these Wild Riders. Oh man, very clutch. We can watch as these guys just charge and rip apart these poor crossbowmen. Getting a nice charge in there and protecting that huge blob on my left, because you can see we did rat off those Reichsguard, and we're currently ratting off these Knights of the Blazing Sun. But oh man, these stags are just like gonna feast. Even getting some into that one, which is good. And now his General of the Empire is free. What I really need to do now is pull this guy out, pull him out. He's all alone on this side of the field. Definitely not ideal, so I'm going to be trying to. You can see my Deepwood Scouts still opening fire, doing some nice shots in the back. My Branch Wraith is holding down the middle, and nice play with this Bright Wizard. What he's doing is he's going after my Deepwood Scouts with his Bright Wizard. I can't really afford the resources to kill this thing right now, so he's going to essentially shut down one of my units for free, which is not good for me. You can see these Knights of the Blazing Sun did get a nice charge here on my Wild Riders, which is not good. But hopefully I'll be following up with some more spears here soon. And here you can see my poor Glade Lord is getting just destroyed by that Griffin as I just try and run away. But for some reason she's not able to. 95, 90, I should be able to get away, but he manages to catch me every time. I don't know why. So that's not good over there, and you can see the Glade Lord is going to die. She's going to rout, and then he's just going to murder her. So not looking too good for me here. You can see I do have some troops that I need to pull back in. Opening fire on the steam tank, trying to get it off the field. My spears are chasing around these Knights of the Blazing Sun. Azrai Spears going in for a rear charge here, trying to break this line. I am going to crush these crossbowmen here with my Wild Riders. As I continue to try and take these guys out. You can see these War Dancers, the Azrai Spears, are going to do pretty well in this fight, especially when they're sandwiched. Probably would have been better to keep them on the Eternal Guard, though, or on the Knights of the Blazing Sun. But just trying to get damage wherever I can get it. There you can see my Glady goes down. Deepwood Scouts being supported by these Eternal Guard come back. So just trying to keep this unit alive, get those spears on the General, which is not the worst situation in the world. And you can see the Wild Riders cleaning up these crossbows as well. Finally routing these swordsmen, but you can see that Bright Wizard still tanking those Deepwood Scouts, which is not the best. I really need to keep them moving. Maybe pull some of these guys in. But you can see, still trying to take out the steam tank. Not the best to shoot it with the Deepwood Scouts, but I really don't have anything else. You can see Dryads in the back. Eternal Guard are going to come over here, get this guy. But you can see a lot of damage has already been put down on them. I think these guys are chasing those knights, so I do let the steam tank get away. I really need to pull the steam tank back in here. Knights of the Blazing Sun, though, do come back. Reichsguard do come back, and oh man, this is just not good. This is one of the few things I have left to take out that General of the Empire. And just like decking those poor... sorry about that. Little chat message. I will be right back. Sorry about that. Here we go. And so you can see they do get into these Deepwood Scouts, which is not the best. Great. They're going to be pushed off, slowly dealing with this guy. But you can see the terror of the general and the terror of the steam tank is going to rout off all these units and leave my poor branch wraith unguarded. You can see these wild riders coming here trying to save him, but there's going to be a lot of damage being put down by these two units, and he is not quick. You can see already dropping almost entirely in health. You can see I do have some guys coming back here, and I have a pretty strong force over here. I did clean up those guys, save my Deepwood Scouts, but at the cost of kind of this central engagement, which is not good. You can see 5 Sigmar Suns left, Steam Tank, so still lots of unbreakable units I have to deal with. And again, oh look, my Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts are coming back. You can see some of my guys over there shooting at people in the forest. As I just try and converge on this general, like I'm just trying to get as much damage on him as I can. But it's just hard to catch with the high mass. I don't really have many Wild Riders left. You can see they are cleaning up these Knights of the Blazing Sun. But he is going to get into these poor Deepwood Scouts yet again. You can see the Dryads are one of the few units they have a pretty fast movement, so they catch up. They're going to do okay damage against him. But he does decide to come this way, which is a blessing for me. So I'm going to get some damage in there. And I'm actually going to be getting these Wild Riders in there as well. So hopefully their high mass will be able to stop him right as he is about to take off. So you can see his health slowly dropping. So at this point, it's looking pretty good. My Branch Wraith has come back. I have this kind of blob going. But, he still has a steam tank that I really, with the terror and the low units and my general gone, I really don't have an answer for. You can see stupidly, I don't know why the General of the Empire can get away from a unit with... I guess the Wild Riders aren't as fast as I thought they were. Only 85. So I guess he should be able to get away, especially with Foe Seeker. But he does come back in, popping his potion. So I will be dropping an Earthblood on this huge blob and then charging in. My Wild Riders are trying to charge this thing in the back. But again, these Reiksguard and the Bright Wizard just keep coming back, keep disrupting my firing patterns. And you can see... just everything just starts to terrified, routing, terrified. Oh man, it's not looking good. You can see only my Branch Wraith is left. I have a couple more volleys here with these guys, but they're even routing. Oh man. You can see some nice shots getting put down on the general. My spear's coming in, but there it is. The steam tank dies, and you're going to see immediately my units start to stabilize with that thing gone. Balance of power shifts slightly in my favor at this point, which is very crucial. But you can see these Reiksguards still cleaning up. Some of the only ways I have to stop this guy, which is not good. I'm going to rush to decide I have enough of this. This is the only thing I can catch, so I'm going to catch it, and I'm going to murder it. So you can see this poor Bright Wizard is just going to get ganged up on by... some elves as we try and chase him down. You can see he's still shooting at some swordsmen. You can see some troops there in the back coming back. They're going to be coming up to help. But you can see these crossbowmen are also back as well. And now it's kind of going to be the crucial engagement. Some last volleys against the general. Foe Seeker, Deadly Onslaught coming down. You can see these Deepwood Scouts. And that's just going to send my poor Branch Wraith flying, trying to snipe out the only leadership I have left, which is not good for me. But you can see my Wild Riders are going to catch. He's going to get that charge in the back penalty, -14 from those Wild Riders, and he is going to break, and that is going to shift it into our favor just barely. So definitely a great game to my opponent. Definitely mistakes on both of our parts. But I think mostly mine. But yeah, definitely a great game. Very close. Shows the power of the general and the steam tank. You can see my Dryads. 2 of my Dryads did pretty well. My Azrai Spear is definitely doing work. Still a pretty healthy unit. You can see this Wild Rider, 200 kills. This one, well, only 80. But definitely still, this one crucial. Taking out all those crossbowmen. You can see my Deepwood Scouts not getting very many kills. Glade Guard just damaging the steam tank. You can see his cavalry probably got the most kills on his team, and the swordsman did pretty well as well. But definitely a lot of the killing power in those heroes and the steam tank. But yeah, anyways, great game to my opponent, and thanks so much for watching. that's that.